Hello everyone, it's your boy, the Chaotic Wave, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are pitting up against Itachi from Naruto against Byakuya from Bleach to see who would win the fight. Early in Itachi's childhood, it was marked with violence. When he was 4 years old, the Third Shinobi World War waged on, and he witnessed firsthand many of the war's casualties. The death and destruction he experienced at such a young age traumatized him, and made him a pacifist growing up, leading to him training non-stop to achieve his dream of becoming a ninja among ninja, in order to erase fighting from the world. After the Nine-Tailed Fox attacked Konoha, the village began having a disdain for the Uchiha clan, essentially segregating them from the rest of the village. The Uchiha clan would then begin planning a coup against the Konoha government, to which Itachi was given a choice: either slaughter his entire clan, with the exception of his brother Sasuke, or allow another world war to happen and have Sasuke die in the fighting. Itachi eventually chose to save his brother and slaughter his whole clan, to which he would be tormented by guilt for years to come. As an Uchiha, Itachi's chakra was naturally strong. It is unknown how his actual reserves were affected by his terminal illness. Just 3 uses of his Mangekyo Sharingan in a single day made him unable to use a Sharingan, and he would require significant rest afterwards to regain his strength. This also prevented him from participating in prolonged battles. Although not his preferred method of combat, Itachi was very skilled with taijutsu, enough to easily defeat 3 members of the Konoha military police force at the age of 11. He had exceptional speed and reflexes, able to compete with Shisui, who was well-famed for his own speed. His quickness was particularly noted with his hand movements, able to make hand seals too fast to be perceived normally. Even skilled Sharingan users had difficulty following him. His speed could move great distances in an instant, as if by displacing himself, giving his opponents little chance to react or initiate a counterattack. Itachi also showed remarkable fortitude. Despite spending years afflicted with a crippling disease, he was able to maintain his composure at all times and still battle in near-perfect form. Itachi set the record for completing the Forest of Death in his Chunin exams while still 9 years old, at 5 hours 37 minutes, while taking the exam solo. He could use chakra to enhance his strikes. As an Uchiha, he had a natural affinity for fire release jutsu, mastering the clan's great fireball technique at a very young age. He would often coat shuriken with fire to increase their offensive capacities. With water release, another thing Itachi can use, he could perform water dragon bullet technique without an external water source, as well as shape existing water into tendrils to strike his opponents from all directions. Consistent with his pacifist nature, Itachi specialized in genjutsu, where the illusions would typically involve crows, regarded as one of Konoha's best users. Even without the aid of his Sharingan, his illusions have remarkable potencies, able to seamlessly affect his targets without them realizing it, while on guard, and also perform them by merely pointing at his target. He is noted by Ao to have such a high prowess that he could use genjutsu to control others outside the range of even the sensor division. Itachi could also use genjutsu to share information or psychologically disable opponents, letting them end the fight instantly. He tends to keep his Sharingan active near constantly with minimal drain on his chakra levels. The Sharingan allows Itachi to see the flow of chakra, predict movements, as well as facilitate his use of genjutsu. Against other genjutsu users, he could turn their genjutsu against them. Also, with the Sharingan, he could perform Izanami, a counterpart to the more dangerous Izanagi. Izanami is a genjutsu which affects the target through physical sensations shared between them and the user to perform the illusion, while Izanagi can seize control of the space between reality and illusion. By doing so, the Izanagi protects the user from disadvantages such as damage and even death, rewriting those events as an illusion. Either way, an Uchiha would have to sacrifice the sight and abilities in one of their eyes to use such dangerous abilities. Using the Mangekyo Sharingan, Itachi can use Tsukuyomi, one of the most powerful genjutsus in the Naruto universe. He can also use Amaterasu, which ignites whatever he looks at with black flames that would burn anything, including fire itself. Itachi could also use the Susanoo, with its simplest manifestations. He could produce extra arms or bones to improve his options in a fight. When used in full, Itachi was surrounded by a spectral warrior that would protect him from most damage. In addition to the chakra swords and the Yasuka Magatama, common to all Susanoo, Itachi's Susanoo wielded the sword of Totsuka, an ethereal sword with the ability to seal any person it pierced into its gored hilt. and the Yata Mirror, a shield that was said to reflect any attack by changing its chakra nature to counterbalance an attack. These simultaneously use of both weapons made Itachi Susanoo essentially invincible. As the 28th head of the Kuchiki clan, Byakuya acts in an aristocratic manner. He always seems serene and apathetic towards other people, even while actually deeply conflicted. He is notably calm even in battle. He generally acts indifferent, bordering on arrogance, to most situations he is faced with, and rarely views his opponent as being worth his time. Byakuya is easily offended if his name is not used properly. Byakuya is very perspective, fully aware of the limits of his abilities, and anything he states in comparison to an opponent is usually justified, despite consistently stating himself to be far stronger than his opponents. Byakuya strongly believes in law and order. As a captain of the Gote 13 and head of the great noble families, he works hard for a peaceful society. He feels that if someone in his position does not follow the rules as a good example, no one else will. He believes that to maintain the order, all lawbreakers must be punished, even if it goes against his own wishes. Byakuya possesses the Zanpakuto named Senbon Zakura. Senbon Zakura possesses a formidable amount of Ryuku. Ryuku is a power aligned with the spiritual sensitivity and willpower of the user. It is used by Shinigami and other spiritual beings to provide the power for their various abilities. Byakuya activates his Bankai by dropping his sword blade first to the ground. As the sword phases into the ground, 2 rows of 1,000 giant blades rise up behind him, separating into billion blade petals. Byakuya is arguably best known for his skill in Flash Step. Flash Step is a movement technique which allows the user to move faster than the eye can follow. Byakuya has considerable knowledge of high-level Kido spells, casting several in quick succession. With no incantation and almost no effort, and still possessing formidable power, he has used spells up to level 81 and possesses advanced knowledge of Kido application and consistency. He can use a low-level spell repeatedly in rapid succession and with devastating effects, as well as a counter to attacks. Byakuya is a highly perspective fighter and almost immediately determining an opponent's attack patterns and weaknesses. He is a crafty tactician, effectively using Kido to confuse his opponents. He can discern the motives and abilities of his opponents and effectively uses his knowledge to end the battle in his favor. Itachi has been generally agreed to be island level at most when it comes to his attack potency. Orochimaru is stated to have said Itachi is much stronger than him, and Orochimaru is able to take down an entire village while handicapped with an illness. He was able to go hand in hand with Naruto, who was able to destroy a mountain with his Biju Bomb. Whilst in Susanoo, he matches a third of Nagato's energy when producing a Chibaku Tensei, which is sort of a black hole. Itachi's force of attack, if we say he's anywhere from small mountain to island level, so the total force of attack would be anywhere from 7 to 99,000 megatons of TNT. Going on to Byakuya, his Ryatsu has been compared to that of Kenpachi while wearing an eye patch, who, without the eye patch, can reach up to solar system level by the end of the series. He was able to damage Bankai Ichigo, who tanked the Sokyoku, which was designed to kill even captain-level Shinigamis, and was capable of severely injuring the Grand Valkyrie, who was relative to multi-continent level. Byakuya's force of attack can go anywhere from 100 to 6 billion megatons of TNT, depending on how much force he is putting into his attacks. Next is speed, and Itachi has been able to dodge the attack known as Kirin by Sasuke, which struck the ground within 1 millisecond, fast enough to disappear from He is fast enough to disappear from sight before anyone can get a good look at him. He is able to create a shadow clone before anyone is able to realize it, is able to put people in genjutsu without looking at them, and is able to dodge Amaterasu, which is a move that is instant. Based off of this, we can deduct that Itachi is at least massively hypersonic plus to, at most, sub-relativistic in speed, making him able to move between speeds between 77,000 and 34 million miles per hour. For Byakuya, he is able to move so fast he becomes invisible to the naked eye. The same goes for most, if not all, of his attacks. He is also able to dodge an attack from a Bankai, Gin's Bankai, that is perceived to go light speed. Byakuya is anywhere from high supersonic to massively hypersonic plus in terms of speed, making him able to move at speeds between 19,000 to 7 million miles per hour. Onward to durability, Itachi has tanked a Shidori through the fucking chest, tanked having his entire arm engulfed in flames, and his Susanoo, as stated before, is able to protect him from most, if not all, attacks. Stating this, Itachi can survive anywhere from 7 to 99,000 megatons of TNT. Byakuya is able to survive both a full-powered Getsuga Tensho from a Bankai Ichigo, as well as Gin's Bankai, as we said before, is perceivable as light speed, and was able to pierce Aizen's body, which was protected by the Hogyoku. Byakuya's speed can go, his durability can go anywhere from 99,000 megatons to 6 billion megatons of TNT. Onward to who would win this fight between these two. This, to me, ended up being a lot more one-sided than I originally thought it was going to be. Taking a look at the stats, for a force of attack, Byakuya makes Itachi look so small in comparison, as Byakuya can exert roughly 60,000 times more force than Itachi can. And this is me going with stats with Itachi at full power as well as Byakuya at full power, so no illness, nothing is stopping these guys from reaching their max potential. Going on to speed, Itachi does have a boost here, as he is 4 times faster than Byakuya, which is pretty impressive, as Byakuya is one of the fastest characters in the Bleach anime, or in the Bleach universe. Going on to durability, this is essentially a mirror of force of attack, where Byakuya can withstand 60,000 times more force than Itachi can. So essentially, Byakuya, even if he is slower than Itachi, he is still fast enough to dodge multiple attacks from Itachi that would kill him instantly, like the Tosca Blade, which would one-shot him, but he is fast enough to dodge it. And Itachi doesn't have enough of a force of attack to even kill Byakuya. So I think Byakuya would win this fight mid to high difficulty, 7 out of 10 difficulty. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Chaotic Weeb saying, peace.